Good evening, good evening, good evening, family. Hello, hello, hello. I want to give y'all a few minutes to get in here with me this evening. I am your girl, Dr. Shayna. I am super excited. I haven't been here with y'all live for this reason in quite some time, but I'm so happy to be here tonight. If you do not know who I am Dr. Shayna D. Lewis. All my friends call me Dr. Shayna. I am a licensed professional counselor, a TEDx speaker, and I am a lover of women. I am also the founder of Her Voice. Her Voice is a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering survivors of domestic violence through mentorship and education. We have several pillars of the work that we do, but one of the most important parts of our work is intervention and prevention. Here's the thing: women in our program who have been through a domestic violence situation, she survived it for at least 2 years. She's able to become a mentor to women who are recently coming out of those relationships. Okay. Now, that is one level of our intervention. But this is what I also understand, that if we are not in a capacity to prevent domestic violence, to prevent our young girls from walking into a situation where harm is awaiting them, then I have not done my job. And everything I'm about right now today is to help prevent domestic violence from happening. Unless you have lived under a rock somewhere, you have missed the fact that Harris County is number one in the state of Texas and has been for several years of homicides due to domestic violence. That is not a number one position that we want to have, but we have it. So what does that mean, family? Houston, we have a problem. That means there's a lot that we need to talk about. And one of the things that I'm here to talk about tonight, well, the specific reason I'm here tonight is we are having an event on next Saturday. Well, not even next Saturday, this Saturday, September. It's not even September. I can't get my days right. April the 24th, called Step Into Your Future. Now, this is our 8th annual event for girls. And we do this event every year in efforts to promote prevention of domestic violence. And Step Into Your Future is all about sisters together for an empowering purpose. And this is where we bring girls 4th grade through 12th grade together in one space so that we can help train them up in the right way. And so we have brought in different speakers about a lot of different things to help our girls do that. So if you will, do me one favor before I jump into our guest speaker for this evening. In the comments, just say hello. Let us know who is here. Tell us where you're joining us from. We love knowing where our friends are joining us from. I'm so excited about the conversation we're about to have right now with one of our speakers, and not even just one. She is the keynote speaker for our event this Saturday. Now, I have met her and have already fell in love. I'm going to just make that you know now. You're going to love her too in a minute. You may not know her, but you will know her before this 30 minutes we're going to have together is up. Her name is Dr. Niecy Hamilton. And listen, I just call her, she is a warrior in these streets. I need y'all to understand. She is handling business on a variety of levels. She has an amazing story of survival of human trafficking. And beyond that, she is an advocate. She is out here using her voice, not only to represent what she went through, but to help other young women in other spaces to prevent them from going through things that she went through. So I'm super excited to have her as our guest speaker on Saturday. And we wanted to offer you a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes on what to expect on Saturday. And so we're going to have this conversation with Dr. Niecy. So I'm going to bring her to the stage. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Niecy. How are you?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Oh my God. You got to do this thing. Oh my
Yes.
God. This is so amazing. I'm super pumped. I'm excited. Man. Are we
Yes.
about to do this or what?
Oh, or what is right. We are about to.
Goodness.
Or what is right. Because here's the thing. This event is so important to me because I said earlier, if we don't prevent this stuff from happening to our girls, we made a mistake. We've made a mistake. And so what I understand is that girls as young as 4th grade, see, people think you got to be old for this stuff to happen to you. But you
Right.
don't have to be old. this can start very early. Research will even show that there was a national study that was done, and of all of the women in the study, 21% of them said the first time they had a violent relationship experience, they were between the ages of 11 and 17. So if we wait until she in high school, we too late. At 11, she is in elementary. She's in maybe fifth or sixth grade. We are too late if we wait till the end. That's why we start so early. So, Dr. Nisi, just talk about why are you passionate about helping girls? Why is it important for you to be here and do this? Because you could be anywhere right now, because you got a lot of places you could be. And I know you being all on the news and all of these other things in the state and all these places. But why is it important for this moment right now for us to take time to talk to our girls to get them ready for what is to come?
Because I demand results. And I want every young lady out there to demand the same results that I didn't get a chance to demand. You know, when we think, so when I think about motherhood, right? You know, we have this vinegar called apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
And we use, and this Black folks, we use apple cider vinegar for everything. Now, first of all, I want to say for everybody who thought this was just going to be one of those boring conversations, this ain't no boring conversation. We just being ourselves, okay? Yep. This is a sneak peek. Y'all ain't even ready. Apple cider vinegar, remember, it was like, you couldn't go to the store and just get any type of apple cider vinegar. You had to go to the store and get the apple cider vinegar that had the what in it. What did they say you had to have? It had to have the mother in it.
Oh, yeah. You had to get the mother apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, you got to get the one with the mother in it. Baby, I'm telling you, I was going through my Rolodex of African American colloquialisms, and I was thinking, my God, that will preach the rest of the century.
Yes, it will.
Apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. And God began to give me spiritual downloads about that, because the mother was specific. It was specific. When it comes down to vinegar, it was all of the gritty, the nasty stuff that's at the bottom, because usually you have to shake it up real good just so you can get that in there, because you need those enzymes. You need everything that petrifies that vinegar to make it that good stuff. That's the mother.
Yeah.
It looks hard, it looks gritty, it looks disgusting. Yeah. You know, you typically want to avoid it because of how nasty and grimy it looks at the bottom of it. Okay.
Yeah.
You start thinking, man, is this CLR or is this vinegar? Okay.
Right.
Which brings me to my point. I realized that hardship has a science to it. Okay. And human trafficking is a type of hardship. It's a hardship that is equivalent to the state of poverty. And what happens is we are allowing our young girls to create an attitude, right? They have such an attitude about hardships that they're creating an attitude that is cultivating a climate, programming a climate for hardship. And because we have been so desensitized to the things that have hurt us, we forget about the mother. That makes sense. And so let's talk about this. There are two types of mothers I want to talk about. First of all, there's a mother that we all love to talk about. We're never ashamed to talk about this mother. The mother that gives birth to favor is called honor. We love her. We love favor. But for some reason, young people have stepped away from honor. Okay? Dishonor to God, dishonor to their parents, dishonor to principles. So when we talk about bravery, bravery is all about stepping out on God's word to defend God's principles.
Come on, bravery.
That's bravery.
Yes, ma'am. Come on now, and y'all didn't catch it. Our theme for this conference is I am brave.
I am brave.
Yes, ma'am.
That is bravery.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because, the Bible tells us to be fruitful and to multiply. But when you tell kids who are growing up in this climate and this culture, who have these attitudes that are creating climates of hardship, to multiply, to be fruitful and to multiply, they automatically think I need to get pregnant. Or I need to go have some sex. And one thing that I teach the girls all the time, listen, sex is not an audition for marriage. Sex is not an audition for relationship. It's an authority of marriage. It has a particular place. It has it's governed by a principle that is governed through marriage, through a relationship, without hardship. You got me?
Wow. Y'all better catch up to that. Hope y'all catch up.
So when we don't bear fruit, as the children of God, as kingdom daughters, when we don't bear fruit, it is an indictment on the kingdom of God. What we're saying is that we don't have enough principled people. We don't have enough Dr. Lewis's, and we don't have enough Dr. Nietzsche's that are going to come out here and teach these girls the principle aspect of God, so that we can get in alignment and get it right, because it must be done in what? Decency and order. Okay? So you got a room full of girls that are so confused. But here's another mother that I want to talk about. Transgression. Transgression is a mother, and the name of her baby is called hardship. Hardship has a science to it. So let's understand something. Let me give you scripture. So Proverbs 13:15 says that good understanding giveth favor, but the way of a transgressor is hard. So I want you to understand something, ladies, about transgression. Transgressors are not people who do not believe in God or that are unbelievers. Transgressors are people who violate the system of God. Okay? So you can't be both brave and a transgressor at the same time.
You got to make a choice.
You got to make a choice. You can't serve two masters.
That's very true. You got to choose.
You got to make a choice. And that's why bravery is so important, because what God is trying to teach us, he's trying to teach us how to charge our hearts so that we will yield results that bring him the glory. That is bravery. When our hearts are charged, when our hearts is in it. When our heart is there. And so what happens is, before we even get to the phase of bravery, most girls nowadays are experiencing so many violations.
They are.
Before they can even get to the place or to the principal aspect of bravery where they can speak about something. And here's the thing, one thing the enemy knows, Revelations 12:11, he knows that you can overcome him by being brave. He knows that you can overcome him with the power of your testimony. So he would never want you to have the authority or have access to the authority or operate with the mantle of the authority of bravery. He would never want that. Because Revelations 12:11 says we overcome the enemy by the power of our testimony, the blood of the Lamb, and not loving our lives unto death. That's the word. So a lot of these things our girls are going through is because of ignorance. They got to be taught, and they got to be taught very fast, because as we see, the climate has changed. The seat of leadership is changing extremely fast. I mean, this is like Cosmo. You know what I mean? And if we're not preparing our girls, by the time it's our time to respond to the things that are happening in this world, we will be so underdeveloped. We will not have the language efficacy to keep up with what's happening in the world. And God is saying no. For whatever reason, we still believe that God only has a masculine nature. And God is saying, no, I have a feminine nature as well. And this is why we're getting ready to step into our 8th annual conference.
Yes,
You
that
feel
part.
me? We're gonna
Yes,
step right on that thing.
yes, indeed. Wow, that is
Yeah.
powerful. Listen, if you are just rolling through Facebook and you just stop to me say, you say, what have I just walked into? Listen, welcome in. I am Dr. Shana, the founder of Her Voice. We are hosting our 8th annual Girls Virtual Conference.
Woo!
Step into your future virtual conference. Our theme this year is I am brave. And we picked that topic specifically and precisely because of the last year that we've had. We have had racial injustice, we have had political unrest, we have had a pandemic. There have been so many things, unprecedented things in some ways, and some things aren't so new, but they're very much highlighted at this point that are not only us as adults are experiencing, but our girls are going through, in addition to the things that we don't even hear about. They're going through stuff in quiet rooms in their own houses, and they ain't telling nobody. And we
Right.
understand they are struggling. And so what we did this year is we brought in Dr. Niecy Hamilton, who was our keynote speaker. She's just given us a little bit of a sneak peek into some of that apple cider vinegar with the mother in it, and why we need to make sure that we focusing on them mamas correctly to make sure we can step into our bravery in the correct way. We want to give birth to that bravery in the right way. That's the thing that we're talking about. You give birth to that. I love that thought, Dr. Niecy. Like I can see it, I can feel it. And so when you think about, where we are right now, like I was saying, these girls are going through things behind closed doors and they're talking to each other and they need to be taught. And that's what I heard you say earlier. They need to be taught. And I'm a mama from old school. I may not be that old of a mama, but I'm an old school mama. And folks be talking about the kids need all this privacy. And I don't know what you talking about. They ain't paid damn bill in this house. They haven't paid baby, you don't own nothing in here that I didn't let you borrow. How about that?
Right.
So that door is mine. I'm in your phone. We need to be more active as the mothers on the earth to be able to teach and talk to. Tell me what's going on. Who are you talking to? Who are your friends? Who are you hanging out with? Who are you dating? What's going on? We leave so much for them to figure out that we haven't taught them. And so this is why this conversation means so much to me. I am a mother to a daughter. And so I understand even more so the need to have these conversations. And so you're going to bring in absolutely a highlight on important conversations that need to be had. And now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. And so when you think about why now is the time, Dr. Niecy, because some folks are like, well, they got so much going on. We don't want to talk. Why now? Why right now?
Well, right now is so perfect. First of all, if you go back and read Timothy, he was talking about the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in 20 and 21. Mm-hmm. And we're also in the 21st century. So 20 means is the number for expectation. 21 means manifest spirit. And in this climate, what manifest spirit means, whatever you open the door for, that's what will come through. Right? So as a mother, we have to go in and pray against demonic kingdoms, demonic embassies, demonic contracts, demonic covenants that we've made either in this life or ancestrally. We have to come against those things so that our daughters can move forward and have access to bravery. Okay? You gotta have access because the opposite of fear is bravery. Okay, the Bible even tells us that the Father doesn't even give us a spirit of fear. That don't mean that you won't be scared to do something. It don't mean you won't be scared to say who molested you, who sexually assaulted you, if somebody's trafficking you, or if because we have peer-to-peer abuse as well. We have. Let me tell you something. The trafficker has changed. The pimp has changed. He used to have on a funny color looking hat,
right. You can find him out.
Looking shoes. Yeah. Today he's your 14-year-old daughter's best friend.
Wow. Okay. Somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needs to hear that.
This is very important. I teach children all the time. I said, listen, you come here looking like your mother and your father, but you die looking like your knowledge and decisions. You need to make a choice. When you leave this earth, what do you want to look like? What do you want your obituary to say about you?
Right.
You understand? That stuff
Wow.
is important
It
because
is.
dishonor to your mother and your father is activation to
Mm.
hardship. We
Yeah.
talk about every other relationship. If you notice, when we talk about relationships, one of the relationships that we don't talk about is hardship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that
Mm.
is relationship. That is hardship is a relationship with poverty. Okay,
Mm.
the Bible says in Proverbs that you have to come into agreement with poverty.
Mm.
Okay, you got to come
And
into
we
agreement
need to
with
be
poverty.
careful about them agreements we making, Dr. DC. Because some of us are making agreements with the wrong spirits and the
And the
wrong
wrong,
circumstances
oh my
and the
God.
wrong people and the wrong circumstances. And you are coming, touching and agreeing with folks that you don't even need to be in the space with. Now, those are
Baby,
just
I'm
facts.
gonna tell you like the old people tell me, baby, stop wasting your oil.
She said, stop wasting
Okay,
it.
stop wasting your oil.
Just pouring it all out for
Stop
what?
wasting your oil. Baby,
My
stop wasting
Lord.
your oil. We gotta be
My Lord.
specific. We have to be intentional.
Yes, we do. We
We
do.
gotta be. And notice how you guys, I'm still talking about human trafficking. I'm talking about everything that has to do with the principles of it and the stuff that you'll miss sometimes. Because let me tell you about human trafficking. You get a lot of people that come up here and talk about human trafficking. And one thing I tell people when they hire me to speak about it, you know, when you hire me, you're hiring somebody who's going to talk about human trafficking academically. You got to be
Mm-hmm.
translated. If you go back in the Bible and remember Elijah, he was translated. Okay,
Mm.
you got to be translated through this process. That means that you got to be beyond healed to be able
Mm.
to get the download from heaven so that you can be able
Mm.
to give people that type of access so that they can
Wow.
experience peace that passes all understanding. I'm here to open your mind and give you access to what
Wow.
God really thinks about the kingdom daughters. Why it's
Mm.
not okay to come in agreement with human trafficking. Why it's not okay to come in agreement with domestic violence. Why it's not okay to perpetuate this type of hardship and how
Mm-hmm.
to get out, how to remove
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And the easiest
Mm-hmm.
way to remove yourself is
Mm-hmm.
not
Wow.
honor your pimp, not honor the person who did wrong to you, because you know that comes in different kind of ways as well. Some people they'll get to the point to where, hey, I it's time for me to prosecute my perpetrator, and
Mm-hmm.
now I want everybody to not feel so bad for him. We see that. We see it all the time. We
Yeah.
get girls that they come in, they tell their stories, they're being brave, they're
Yeah.
operating with bravery, and
Yeah.
then they go back, and then all of a sudden, they want to use that brave spirit to give honor to
Mm.
somebody who is a violator of
Yeah.
God's
Yeah.
kingdom commandment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where bravery becomes diluted. And so
Yeah.
we don't want to dilute the process.
No, you
We
cannot.
want to explain to you the process of bravery, because
Yeah.
sometimes you're going to have to stand up and say no. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're going to have to stand up and say, I will not stand for this. Sometimes you're going
Mm.
to have to stand up and say, I'm going to go tell my mama. If you
Yeah.
do this to me, I'm going to report this to the police. If you do
Yeah.
this to me, I am going to say something. Yet while you're doing it to me, I'm going to write this down and I'm going to say something. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
go call the police. I'm going to go
Mm-hmm.
to the nurse. I'm going to get
Mm-hmm.
a pain exam. Oh, I'm
Right.
keep these panties and I'm going to
Right.
turn them in, because I got
Yeah.
to be brave enough to tell on the person who is assaulting me.
Yeah.
You will
Yeah.
not have a leadership position in my victory. You will not,
Mm.
because I operate
Mm.
in the spirit of bravery.
Wow. Listen, if you just showed up, I'm just giving y'all the 5-second commercial break that says this is Dr. Shana. We are here talking about the 8th annual Step Into Your Future conference that's happening this Saturday, April 24th, 11 a.m., completely free. It's virtual. The website for you to register is right at the bottom. Please, if
Yes.
you have a young girl in your life, 4th grade through 12th grade,
Yes.
register her. Send this link to somebody. Dr. Nisi is our keynote speaker. She just dropped the whole keynote speech, but she got more to say. She got more to say. Listen, she got a ton. And what she just said is so powerful. The value and the importance, the immediacy, the urgency with which this
Yes.
message needs to be said and given to our girls. Their life depends on it.
Right.
It does. And it is our job, whether you birthed a child in this world or not, to be
Right.
in a position to mother the girls that are called in under your voice. We all have access to some girl in our life. We all do, whether she's your niece or your cousin, your neighbor, whoever she might be, your best friend's daughter.
Yes.
Make sure you take a personal responsibility for injecting inside of her some positivity, some of the gifts that Dr. Nisi is talking about right now. Invite her, register her for this conference. It is completely free. Listen, we have so, and this is just one sneak peek. I'm talking about keynote speakers. I didn't even talk about the other breakout classes. We also have several speakers who were talking on grade appropriateness. So we have fourth through fifth grade that is broken into a group, sixth through eighth grade that is in a group, and then ninth through 12th that is in a group. They will all be
Wow.
having different conversations about dating violence, age appropriately. We will also be having conversations about social media because we know
Yes.
that social media and our girls can get so caught up in that space. We'll be talking about leadership as well. All of these conversations will come together with Dr. Nisi's keynote speech at the end of our event. We will have door prizes. We'll have a live DJ. You know you can't have no party without no DJ. We have a female DJ. She is always with us. DJ Simone Majesty on the ones and the twos. Love her to pieces. Listen, this is an amazing conference. I'm hopeful that all of you can make it. And women, you can register and come. Just come.
Yeah, y'all come too.
Everybody come. Everybody. I said everybody. I'm from the
Everybody.
South. Everybody come. I am from Memphis, Tennessee. Stand up. I can't help it. Everybody come because this is an opportunity for you to learn something. Because this is what I know is going to happen. Even if we grown, and you think you know, it's going to be something you
Come
didn't know
on.
that somebody going to tell. And you're
Come
going to
on.
say, oh, I didn't realize that was a thing. Yes,
Come
sis,
on.
it was a thing. And that's the thing that you needed to hear. And it may be the thing that you need to hear to go tell someone else's child or somebody else's mama who has a child who needs to hear the message from you. So I'm super excited. We even have an amazing panel, y'all. We have a therapist, substance abuse counselor. We have an entrepreneur. We have a wellness expert. We talking about all of the things, okay? All of the things. Like we're
All the
leaving nothing undone. And so I'm begging that you register some young girl in your life. She needs to be here, and I want you to come as well. Let me say hello to Gwen and Kathy Tatum and Janelle, one of our board members, and Laura, and Shannon. Shannon's the moderator of our panel. Hey, Shannon, thank you for popping in tonight. Thank y'all for being here. And Tracy, as well. Listen, share this message on your timeline. Someone in your timeline needs to know about this conference. Have her register immediately for this conference. One last thing I want to share with you, and because y'all on this live, y'all are going to get this earlier than the rest of the world. Her Voice is actually having a Mother's Day basket raffle. And if you want to enter, it is a $400 valued basket. And it's got gift certificates in it. Mama's Day is coming. I'm trying to get the mothers together, Dr. Nisi. Let's make
with the mother in it. That's exactly why I said what I said. I'm telling you, it's going to go right in with each other.
You see it? So you ladies text Mother's Day to 855-202-2100 and you will get a link to get a ticket into that raffle. I promise you that basket is fire and any mother in your world will be grateful to get it. So get yourself a raffle ticket for that. Go to the website, register the young girl in your life. Meet us on Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to have a ball. Dr. Nisi, anything in closing you want to leave them with? So if they're on the fence, like, well, I don't know, Saturday is my day to do my laundry, and I'm not really sure if I want to take time to come. What do you want to tell them so they can get off the fence and just jump in?
So let's just understand something about honor and how it's going to reflect with your daughter once they leave this conference. Honor is not a ladder. It's a lift. Ooh. This is about elevation. Okay. No more can it be that we're looking for just consistent results? Okay, you guys, this ain't just about consistent results, you guys. We need something that's more concrete. Okay, because consistent results is not just, oh, we get into the rudimentary thing, or I do this all the time like this, and we doing it and all this other kind of stuff, because we don't have to guess what's gonna work and how it's gonna work and how it's gonna play out. We're commanding results.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're gonna do at our 8th annual Step Into It, you guys. This is what we're gonna do. I'm super duper excited. I enjoy you guys already. I cannot wait to spend time with your daughters and teach them everything it is that I know about the principles of God, and make sure we lay that thing out so that we have no more victims of anything, because we will not operate from a spirit of victim. We will operate from a spirit of victory.
Yes.
Period. And we will get back to that place of principle where we're honoring our mother and our fathers, because that is the standard. That's the only standard. It's the God standard. I'm Dr. Dixie Hamilton.
Period. All mics have been dropped. We're done for this evening. That is your sneak peek, ladies and gentlemen. Catch the website at the bottom, herhyphenvoice.net. Get your Mother's Day basket raffle ticket at Mother's Day, texting that to 855-202-2100. Share this video with someone on your feed. She needs to hear it. Look forward to seeing you all on Saturday. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.